And this is why you have to believe in yourself. People think they're doing you a big favor by telling you, trying to dissuade you from doing what's in your heart, because in their minds, they are saving you from pain and heartache. But they've already lived their lives. And now it's time for you to live yours. So you got to make up your mind what you want to do. And if it's makeup or makeup and hair, and you want to work on magazines or Fashion Week or television commercials, don't let somebody tell you you can't do something that they've never done. Make up your mind and make a decision that you're going to do it. But then you have to make a decision that you're going to do whatever it takes. That's where the whole thing breaks down and falls apart. When you have to do what it takes. Mental toughness is required to be a successful makeup artist. Mental toughness is required to be a great attorney or a doctor. Mental toughness, because everything is not going to go your way. What are you going to do? Man up or fall apart? I'm erring on the side of man up. I'm thinking you can do it. What do you think?
Yes.
You think you can do it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I love this business. I've loved it since I got in it. And when I got in it, I had left my job at Xerox. My grandmother used to call me up and say, can I still please tell people you work at Xerox? Because I'm from a little town called Tacoma, Washington. And in Tacoma, Washington, nobody is a photographer's rep, okay? Anybody have people that think you should be working at the post office or you should be in college getting an accounting degree or become a lawyer or a doctor or something like that? And you want to do makeup? And when you walked into my grandmother's house, on the mantle in the living room was every trophy I had ever won. Every time I won a blue ribbon for the 100-yard dash, they called it the 100-yard dash back then. The 100, the 200, which was the 220 or anchor, the 440 relay, anything I ever won from Xerox was up on my grandmother's mantle. And my grandmother went to a little church in Tacoma, Washington, and everybody in Tacoma had heard of Xerox, and nobody had ever heard of a photographer's rep. So when my sister was in law school and getting her second degree, I was like willing to buy her books, anything that would take the pressure off of me to go back to Xerox. So I'm representing this photographer, loving my life, quit my job at Xerox, met him on a Sunday, went to his studio and visited him on Thursday, quit my job on Monday. I'm going to rep a photographer, whatever that means. That's what I'm going to do. I figured, how hard can it be? I've been selling copiers. Surely I could sell a little photography. Worked for him for 6 months. He fired me. Short little name of the But his makeup artist came to me and asked me to be her agent. And the very first job we ever did together was Janet Jackson. And it was 3 days' work. She made $950 a day, plus overtime. And when we got the check, it was $9,140, and I decided corporate America was not for me. Because that commission on $9,140 was a lot of money and would pay my rent for an entire month. And so I stayed. And I picked up more hair people and makeup people and fashion stylists and running around going to record companies and magazines and going to New York all the time. I would go to New York like 4 times a year and show the portfolios. And so I built up my agency to be one of the most well-respected agencies in Los Angeles. I used to do a ton of work in LA and a ton of work in New York. What I realized along the way and why I wrote the Hair, Makeup, and Fashion Styling Career Guide is because before there was mud, very few students were getting an education about what to do when they graduated from school. They could paint a face, but they didn't know how to get a job. They didn't know who to call to get a job. Yes, there was a record company and album covers are being made every day and now CD covers, but who am I supposed to call at the record company? Who am I supposed to call at the advertising agency if I want to work on Crest or if I want to work on Nike? Who am I supposed to call at the TV station? Who am I supposed to call? What is a production company? And what do you mean the people that work on print? They're called producers too. And so I took all of that information and I put that information on the inside the hair, makeup, and fashion styling career guide so nobody could pull the wool over your eyes about your business. So that you could get paid on time. So you could know what to say and know what to ask for. This book is one of your business branding toolkits. It will become one of your best resources only if you use it and only if you read it. So besides that, what do you need? 5 things. Are you ready? 6 things. I did that yesterday. I got that wrong because I wrote 2 5s on here. Focus. Focus is the new black. You know the black dress in your closet you have to have, you also have to have focus. When we talk about focus, we're talking about your intentions, what you intend to do. What are you aiming at? What is your purpose? And what is your plan? Number 2 is action. You have to do something. And then you have to be productive about it. Number 3, commitment. The commitment you make to yourself and the commitments that you make to other people. There's no way to be successful if you go around every day letting other people down. That network is going to mean everything. Those connections are going to mean everything. Number 4, you have to be able to lean in and ask for what you want. Nobody is going to give you $800 a day if you don't ask for it. If you ask for 5, they're going to give you 5. And if there's somebody that's standing next to you, if you're doing makeup and they're doing hair, and they had $800 in the budget for the hairstylist and $800 for the makeup artist, and the hairstylist asked for 8 and you asked for 5, nobody's going to say, oh, you know what, we're going to give you 8 instead. No. No, the producer's going to take that money and take his wife out to dinner since you didn't ask for it. So you have to learn to lean in and ask for what you want. You have not because you ask not. Number 5, you have to make an introduction. You have to introduce yourself to people. And you cannot just introduce yourself to people with, hi, my name is Susie. I can come in this room and say, hi, my name is Crystal, because everybody told you I was coming, and everybody told you what my name was, and you know what I do, and you know I have a book. But if I walk outside this door and into that parking lot and stand up and go, hi, everyone, I'm Crystal. And so, who cares? But if I say, hi, my name is Crystal. I'm a makeup artist here in Southern California. Now I have opened up a door of opportunity. I've opened up a door for somebody to present me with an opportunity that I can take advantage of. Number 6, stay ready. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. But if you don't stay ready, you're always behind the 8 ball. So what do we mean by focus? When you look at your career, it's so easy to get out of school, want to make money right away, and when somebody says, what do you do as a makeup artist? You say, oh, I do everything. Well, guess what? You can buy everything in Target, and it's cheap. It's cheap at Target, isn't it? You can't buy everything at Neiman Marcus, but the things that you can get are pricey. What do you want to be? Everything, or do you want to specialize in something? Whether it's beauty, or it's fashion, or it's lifestyle, or it's, and those will fit into different areas, because beauty is what? Beauty is Lancome, beauty is Maybelline, beauty is NARS, beauty is MAC. All of that is beauty. The other thing that fits into beauty is fragrance. Okay? So, if you tell somebody you do beauty, it doesn't preclude you from taking whatever jobs come your way while you're building your career. But out of your mouth, the conversation that you give to people needs to be more specific than I do everything. You know why? Because even as you're doing jobs, You can pick and choose what you put on your resume because that is the narrative that you're creating for yourself. What you put on your resume is the story that you're telling about yourself to attract other people. Are you guys with me?
Yes.
Are we here?
Yes.
I'm here. Because I need us to be here. Okay. The next thing is focus on small, achievable goals. Have a big goal. You want to have a 5-year goal. You want to have a 10-year goal. You want to have a 3-year goal. But you create the goal out here in 2025 and then start working backwards to all the things that you need to do. So small, achievable goals when you're just getting started is for 2019, I am going to put 24 new images in my portfolio. That is a small, achievable goal. And as you're going and working with photographers and building those images and doing those jobs and adding them to your portfolio, you can count them down and see how close you're getting to your goal. Okay? So create small, achievable goals, but also create the big one because the big one is what you're aiming at. Okay? The next thing is, in order to have focus, you have to manage the distractions in your life. You've got to manage the distractions in your life, and one of the biggest distractions in your life is your phone. It's your phone. So now you have to turn your phone into your accountability partner. That means you turn off the notifications for the things that are stopping you from inventing the next beauty blender. And you guys, what is she talking about? Let me tell you what I'm talking about. You're sitting trying to do something important. You got a great idea, and every 5 seconds, Instagram is interrupting you. Every 5 seconds, Instagram is interrupting you. Facebook is interrupting you. How many of you have won the lottery from either Instagram or Facebook? You haven't. So you need to turn the tables on social media. Turn the notifications off and then put an alarm on your phone that tells you it's time for me to go and check my social media. Decide that you're going to check your social media maybe 2 or 3 times a day for 15 minutes and take control of the social media so it doesn't take control of you. Because as long as it's going off all the time, you are being interrupted from creating the next greatest fabulous thing. You're being interrupted from doing your research that you need to be prepared for the job. Control the social media so it doesn't control you. Get on it, yes, but not every second of every day. And the important things that you need to do in your life, use your phone or your calendar to pop up and remind you. Whether it's a bill you need to pay on time, or whether it is making sure you get to a job on time. If you know you're always running 15 minutes late, then set your alarm 20 minutes earlier, okay? You have to get some focus in your life. Break your business life up into quarters. It's easy to get overwhelmed when you think about everything that you have to do for the whole year. But none of it all has to be done today. Think about it for a second. Your favorite department store, don't they have a spring sale, summer, fall, and winter? So you can break your life up into quarters. And then you can break it down into months. We used to have a saying at Xerox, it was called reduce it to the ridiculous. But what it does is it makes it possible for, instead of you focusing and being overwhelmed by the year, you can say, let me think about what I'm going to do and what I intend to achieve for fall 2018. September, October, November, fall 2018. What do I want to achieve? You can think about your website. You can think about your social media. Now you can think about what you want to put out there to keep people engaged and to attract new customers. If all you do is start with that, you will start to see results. You will start to see changes in your business and increases in the amount of people that are following you. But let us not get confused. Followers are not always dollars unless the right people are following you. Hello? Now, I teach classes and have a book. I need y'all following me. But all of y'all don't need a bunch of makeup artists and hairstylists who aren't giving you jobs following you. You need some decision makers following you. Is that right?
Yes.
You need some people who can give you some work. So start looking in different places for the people who can give you jobs. Number 2 is action. You guys are so glad you went and got those notebooks, aren't you?
Yes.
You're like, oh, I gotta go see this lady. And she's probably gonna be like all the other ladies. And, I don't think so. Action. Do something. Be productive. There is a difference between being busy and being productive. Busy is, I went to bed with a plan. I woke up with a purpose. My intention was to achieve 3 things today. I wrote down on a list I was going to do these 3 things. And now I get up, and the first thing on my list is to send out emails to the decision makers at 5 production companies. And I'm going to do it just as soon as I finish cleaning the closet. As soon as I get done with the closet, I'm going to make those 5 phone calls. I'm going to send those 5 emails. Or as soon as I get back from walking the dog. The kitchen is a mess. I think I'll clean it right now at 9 o'clock in the morning. Instead of making calls when people are in their offices. And then you sit down 2 or 3 times, and every time you sit down, you can find something you'd rather do besides sending out emails because you feel like I don't know what to say. So as soon as I figure out what to say, which could be 3 years from now, as soon as I figure out what to say, then I'm going to do these emails. In the meantime, oh my gosh, the dry cleaners is going to close in 3 hours. I should go now. Right? Okay. So let's not fool ourselves. Productive is making the calls. Busy is cleaning out the drawers. When you guys start cleaning out the drawers, I want you to think of me. Okay? I want you to feel like I'm watching you clean out the drawers and make the decisions that aren't going to build your business so you can stop and change directions. Okay? Action takes discipline. Do you know what discipline is? Doing the stuff you should do whether you feel like it or not. That's discipline. Discipline, if you haven't been very disciplined, is best taken in small doses because you need to start somewhere. Everything doesn't have to get done today. You know, you don't have to make 5 phone calls every single day if you just don't have the stomach for it. But if you make 5 phone calls 2 times a week or 3 times a week, your business will start to grow. And you will figure out what to say. You will figure out what to write. What you want is feedback from people so that you can then open up a door to ask another question of them so you can get work from them. Be consistent. Everything is about consistency. As a matter of fact, my social media, the thing about social media, one of the things that makes it so hard, it's like not knowing what to say in an email or not knowing what to say in a phone call. The thing about social media is you have to find your voice. You've got to find what's working for you, what's comfortable for you. And what bothers me is how people say to you guys, you need to post every single day. You got to post up every single day. You got to be on it every single day, 2, 3 times a day. But the truth is this, you just have to start somewhere. Go back to the quarters. What if you make a decision? If you're sporadic with your social media, if you're not sure what to put on, what if you say, okay, for fall 2018, I'm gonna post 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I'm gonna do that September, October, November. And during that time, I'm gonna look at what I'm doing and figure out what I can add, what I can change, so that going into winter 2018, I can post 4 times a week instead of 3. And then what about then for spring 2019, now I can post 5 times a week. Because in the space of reducing it to quarters, it gives you a chance to find your voice. It gives you a chance to figure out what's working, what's not working. It gives you a chance to put new hashtags in and make that work for you. The thing you don't want to do is you don't want to change everything at once, because then you won't know what's working and not working. Okay? Give yourself a chance to win. In truth, big companies do everything by quarters. And what is going to happen if you don't post 5 times a week or 7 times a week? Nothing. Like for real. Like nothing. But if you do 3 times a week, or you start with 2 times a week, and then you go to 3, then you go to 4, then you go to 5, how proud are you going to be of yourself by the end of by this time next year? By this time next year. Commitment. Commitment. You have to be committed to yourself, because you have to be able to trust yourself to do what you say you're going to do for yourself. And then, hi, Paul!
You told me to tell you hi.
Oh, you did? And then, the commitment you make to other people. Like, your colleague asks you to assist her on a job. And she says there's $150 in the budget for an assistant, and you say yes. And then this colleague calls you up and says, you know what, I've got a job on Tuesday, and the client has $250 a day for an assistant. Do you want to assist me? What do? Think about that. You keep the first commitment that you made, because you're going to want somebody to keep that commitment to you one day. It builds integrity. It builds muscle. It builds mental toughness. And it provides lots of good karma. Lots and lots and lots of good karma that you're going to be able to spend later on, because good karma is currency. And you can spend it later on. Number 4, ask. You have to lean in and ask for what you want. So here's the deal. I've got some guys in here, and I've got some women in here. So I want to talk to you women for 1 second. There's a lot of information, a lot of stuff going on in the news about how women get paid less than men. It's true. It's true. But not every company, because there are some bad companies out there and some bad people out there, but not every company pays you less money because they're not paying you less money because they're paying the men more. They're paying you less money because he asked for more. Hello. They're paying you less money because he asked for more, and you get what you negotiate in life. I was in an airport a couple of years ago, and there was a story on the news. And basically, this is the story. That if a man and a woman are both walking into the company on the same day, and they both intend to go in and ask their boss for a raise, and the company makes a big announcement and says, our profits are down by 20%, there aren't going to be any bonuses this year. The woman goes and sits down at her desk and says, well, I guess this is not a good time for me to ask for a raise. And the man marches right into his boss's office and says, I want a raise, and I deserve it because this is what I've added to the bottom line of this company. And if you want me here to stay here at this company, then I'm gonna need more money. And he gets a raise and she doesn't. Stand up for yourselves, ladies. You know, when you think about the Me Too movement, yeah, been there. The thing is this, you cannot run to HR every time a man says something that you don't like. You have got to plant your feet, turn around and say, don't you ever say that to me again. Because if you do it again, I'm gonna go to HR. Have I made myself clear? You have to stand up for yourselves, because there's not always gonna be somebody around for you to run to fight your battles. And as you stand up for yourself and you exercise that muscle, and it doesn't even mean you have to yell, scream, and throw things. My grandmother used to say, if you want a man to listen, get real quiet, and he'll lean in real close to hear what you have to say. You have to exercise the muscle wherever it starts. Asking for more money on a job, stopping people from disrespecting you. Exercise the muscle, it'll get easier, and pretty soon you'll be able to advise other people about what they ought to do. Sheryl Sandberg is the COO of Facebook. And she wrote, "Lean in, women work and the will to win." I'm not worried about you fellas. I'm not worried about you guys. You come from a culture that teaches you right from the beginning how to lean in and ask. While we're being told, be quiet, sit down, little girls, that's not ladylike, you shouldn't do that. I'm telling you that the moment you walk out this door, not only do you become a makeup artist, you become an independent contractor, you become a freelancer, and you become an entrepreneur. You are owning and running your own business. You have to own it, and you have to run it, and you have to ask for what you want. Stay ready. Oh no, you know what I forgot? I want to do introduction first. Did I do introduction? No, I don't think I did. Okay. Let me do introduction, then I'll do stay ready. So the thing about your introduction, no, I did do it, you guys. I did it right at the beginning. Remember I said you have to introduce yourself? You have to introduce yourself with a handshake. But you just have to let people know what you do. But here's the other thing about the introduction. It's all coming back to me with a blinding flash of light now. Having a great introduction is going to help you as you network. But the other thing that goes along with networking efficiently is being prepared. That means if you're going to the makeup show, and I'll bet every last one of you are, way before the makeup show, you can go onto the website and you can find who's going to be there. And there's almost always a couple of people there that you would like to meet. You go online, you do your research, you find out about them, and you find the 3 or 4 people that you're dying to talk to. You do your research and you find 2 questions to ask them. You see, because if you just walk up to, Dodonovic, and you say, "Hi, my name is Crystal, it's so nice to meet you, I just really love your work." He goes, "Oh, thank you," and goes to the next person. You engage people by asking them questions that cause them to think and focus on you. "I like your work" is not a question. "I like your work" is boring, and they're going to hear it 200, 300, 400 times over the course of a couple of days at an event like the makeup show. What else have you got? 2 questions for every person you want to meet, so that when you walk up to him, you say, "You know what, I really love your work, but in particular, you did a shoot with, what's her name, Kardashian, and blah, 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 blah." It's not all that interesting because it's always the same, but you get my point. You know, or Francesca Tolo, "You did a shoot with Iman. about 20 years ago. And I was just wondering, what inspired you to choose those shades of eyeshadow to mix together and put on her face? Do you see what I'm saying? That will get her attention. That will make her go, oh my God. A myriad of things will run through her head. First of all, she's got to stop and visualize what you're talking about. She's got to think about what she did back then. She's amazed that you're doing your research and that you came to her with that question, because trust me, nobody else is going to have that question. And now you're creating a bond. Now, when you're following her on Instagram and you comment on her work, she's going to notice you. She's going to engage with you. The other thing is, there's one more question you always have to have an answer to. Because sometimes you're going to ask somebody a question in business for a job and they're going to say no. No is not rejection. No is just no. If they say no, you never know who's going to say, well, I can't do that for you because I've already hired somebody for this job. But how else can I help you? How many of you have an answer for how can I help you? How many of you would have to say, can I get back to you on that? The moment is past, the opportunity is lost. I published a magazine called First Hold for about 3 or 4 years. Veronica had it.
Yes, I still do.
Yeah.
Yes.
I published this magazine called First Hold. And it was exactly everything I do, which is try to give you guys the information that you need to be able to run your business. And so there was a point where I decided that I was going to sell First Hold magazine. I needed to find a buyer for the magazine. I was ready to get out of the magazine business. So I put together a list of 5 companies that I thought might be interested in purchasing First Hold. I was looking at companies that already had trade publications, because First Hold was a trade publication for makeup, hair, and fashion styles. If you ask me later, I'll tell you why it had such a stupid name. So one of the people that I called was Bobbitt Publications. Bobbitt Publications publishes Nails magazine and a couple of other industry publications. And I thought, what a great fit. My makeup, hair, and styling magazine and a publishing company that's already doing trade publications in the beauty genre. I put together this fabulous package and I sent it to Ed Bobbitt. Now, I'm a person that believes I'm not trying to talk to anybody but Ed Bobbitt. I don't want to talk to the secretary. I don't want to talk to the this or to the that. And I understand that entrepreneurs are in the office before everybody gets there, and they're in the office when everybody leaves. If you want to get by the secretary or the assistant, just wait until about 5:15 when everybody's gone, and that person's going to answer their own phone. So I call. Ed Bobbitt answers the phone. Hello, Mr. Bobbitt. My name is Crystal Wright. I'm calling to follow up on a package that I sent you because I wanted to find out if you might be interested in purchasing my magazine, First Hold. He said, I did get that package. I said, you did? What did you think? I thought it was very nice. Would you like to buy my magazine? No. He said, but is there something else I can do to help you? And I said, Mr. Bobbitt, I need a mentor. Would you be my mentor? He said, absolutely. And 3 days later, I was sitting in Torrance having coffee with the millionaire. You have not because you ask not. And you have not because you're not ready. So if you stay ready, you won't have to get ready. It's like, let's go on to stay ready. It's like when you get home after a job, you're exhausted, it's late at night, you put in a 12-hour day, and you don't have a job tomorrow, so you say, you know what, I know that my process is to clean my kit when I get home, but I'm not going to do it tonight. Guess what? You're not ready then. You're not ready ready for tomorrow. You're not ready for the spirit of opportunity to stop by your house and call you and offer you a job because everything in your kit is dirty. And you might go ahead and take the job. And you might jump up and leave with your dirty kit and hope nobody notices. But you know that you weren't ready. See, this is where the discipline comes in, because the discipline is doing what you should do whether you feel like it or not. You don't feel like cleaning your kit. You're tired, you want to go to bed. But if you clean your kit and you're ready, the universe might just stop by and give you an unexpected gift of a job that pays you money and creates new contacts for you and a new network for you. So stay ready. The next thing about staying ready is understanding that it's like living your life in quarters. As soon as you break it up into quarters, it makes it easier for you to manage it. You don't have to know what you're going to do 2 quarters from now, but you'll know a month before that quarter starts that you need to start thinking about what's going to go in that space that's going to help you promote your business. Well, the same thing is true about your education. You see, your education doesn't stop here today. Practice makes perfect. You're ready for some jobs, but you're not ready for the $3,000 a day job, and you'll only get there if you practice. And you'll only get there if you continue to take classes to shore up the things that you're not quite great at, but you want to get great at. So here's what I mean by staying ready. You don't have to know what classes you're going to take in 2019. What you have to know is that you're going to take some classes. Because as soon as you know you're going to take some classes, you know they're not going to be free. And if you know they're not going to be free, you can estimate what they're going to cost in 2019, and you can start saving now. See, everything in your life cannot be an emergency if you want to be successful. Oh my gosh, such and such is teaching a class and I really want to go, but I don't have any money. Yeah, but such and such teaches a class every year. And you already know that. And if you say, okay, most of the classes that I see are about $500 to $600 each. So I'm going to start now and save a little bit of money every month so that when the class appears, I've got the money to go, as opposed to, I wish I could go, I can't go, because I went shopping and I bought those $170 Nikes. Stop spending money you don't have on things you can't afford, you don't need, and don't build your business. If you build the business now and focus your resources on building your business, the business will make it possible for you to buy everything you want. Go every place you want to go. But now is the time to buckle down and commit to, I'm going to give this 3 solid years of everything it takes so that it will support you for the next 15 to 20 years. Because as we can see, there's not less TV, there's more TV. Everybody wants to be in the entertainment game. Amazon, now we have Netflix that we didn't have. We still have as much network TV as we ever had, but now we got all these cable channels. And more of them are coming up every day. And now everybody with an iPhone is making a movie and taking it to a film festival and getting $10 million to make the movie. There's plenty of work out there. It is everywhere. You don't even have to lift up a rock. All you got to do is get ready, maintain and build your skills, and the work will come and the money comes with it. Save your money. Not for a rainy day, for a rainy season. And those of you who are not used to saving, start with $5 a week or $10 a week. And you're thinking to yourself, well, that's no money. $5 a week. $5 a week is money if you're not used to saving, because the idea is creating the habit of saving. If you've never done it before, you've got to start somewhere. save $5 a week for 8 weeks, and then double it. Every 8 weeks, double it. Every 8 weeks, double it. And you'll always have what you need to take care of yourself for your emergencies and for your business. That's all. That was it. It could have been 2 get bags because you guys were taking an awful lot of notes. Y'all were writing. I'm like, oh my God, and look at me. I am on time. I'm like, it's 5 minutes to 5. I think I started at 5 or 10 after 4. Give me a hand for that.